Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Muy buenas noches, señoras y señores. I am Rafael Chabetay, Vice President of Pan American Life Insurance Group and host of the radio show Suplemento on Tropical 105.7. On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Hispanic Heritage Foundation, I welcome all of you that are watching from all over the world. I will be your host this evening on this virtual event in appreciation of the Hispanic Heritage Month, featuring distinguished musician and guitar artist Javier Olondo, who will take us in a musical tour of Latin America and Spain. And without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce Mari Carmen Aldana, who's the president of the Hispanic Heritage Foundation. Mari Carmen.
Bienvenidos. The health crisis has been unprecedented and affected our community in many different ways. But it has also opened the door to a new virtual world that in a way is bringing us closer with the world. Today, on behalf of the Board of Directors of the New Orleans Hispanic Heritage Foundation, it is my joy to welcome you to the first of a series of online cultural events. Thank you to all our generous sponsors, especially Pan American Life Insurance Group and Entergy. Through your amazing support, we continue to fuel the future of the foundation. Culture, scholarship, and community. The pillars of the New Orleans Hispanic Heritage Foundation are embedded in our mission. Through the cultural pillar, the foundation supports activities that provide an opportunity to experience Hispanic culture through art, education, food, and music, with the aspiration of creating a stronger, more diverse, and culturally rich community. And today, we are honored to present Viaje Musical a Hispanoamerica in appreciation of Hispanic Heritage Month. Please continue to support the New Orleans Hispanic Heritage Foundation. Visit nohhhf.org to learn more about our programs, including our scholarship program that since 1993 has awarded close to 1,000 high school and freshman year college scholarships to high achieving students. During this event, please also support the restaurants that have made a Super Bowl, our main fundraising event, possible during the last 3 decades. Restaurant information and links to place orders will be provided in the chat box during this event, so stay tuned for that. And now, please enjoy this amazing program that we are honored to present today. Enjoy.
Thank you, Mari Carmen. And tonight, our guest artist, Javier Olondo, was born in Houston, Texas, of Cuban parents. He began his musical studies in Barcelona, Spain, and later moved to Havana, Cuba, where he continued his guitar studies at the Conservatory Manuel Saumel. At age 13, he debuted as a soloist in a special concert in Havana's first International Guitar Festival. Upon completion of high-level studies, he was awarded a scholarship at the Mozarteum in Salzburg, Austria, where he received his Magister in Arts, specializing in guitar. He is a recipient of the Título de Oro of the Escuela Nacional de Música of Havana. He also received the Key of the City of Kenner and has been named honorary citizen of the city of New Orleans. He teaches classical guitar at Tulane University, Concordia University, New Orleans, and the Cervantes Hispanic School of the Arts. Javier is also director of the Cuban band Son and host of the popular TV show ¿Qué pasa en New Orleans? I have the honor to know him personally, and now the great pleasure to present him on this musical tour. The Latin American music incorporates African music from slaves who were transported to Americas by the European settlers, as well as music from the indigenous peoples of the Americas, and of course, the music brought by the Spanish conquistadors. Due to its nature that combines different cultures, Latin American music encompasses a wide variety of styles, including influential genres such as cumbia, bachata, bossa nova, merengue, rumba, salsa, samba, son, and tango. Geographically, it usually refers to the Spanish and Portuguese-speaking regions of Latin America. Its origins can be traced to the Spanish and Portuguese conquest in the 16th century, when the European settlers brought their music and their instruments, hence the guitar, which is the most popular throughout the American continent. Brazil is a large, diverse country with a long history of popular music development, ranging from the early 20th century innovation of samba to the modern música popular brasileira. Heitor Villa-Lobos, born in 1887 and who died in 1959, was the most significant creative composer of his time. The choro from Villa-Lobos that Javier will interpret is a music genre originated in the 19th century in Rio de Janeiro. Choro in Portuguese means cry or lament. Next composer will be João Pernambuco, whose real name was João Teixeira Guimarães. He lived between 1883 and 1947. His compositions were influenced by the northern Brazilian folk music. We will then move to Paraguay. Paraguayan music depends largely upon two instruments, the guitar and the harp, which were brought by the conquistadors and found their own voices in the country. Agustín Barrios was known as Nitsuga Mangoré, Nitsuga being his first name, Agustín, spelled backwards. He was born in 1885 and died of a heart attack while he was touring in El Salvador in 1944 at the age of 59. He composed more than 300 songs, many of which influenced by the Paraguayan folk rhythms such as the polka and the valse, which in turn were imported from Europe. Traveling more to the south, we'll go to Argentina. Dr. Jorge Cardoso, born in 1949, is a concertmaster and composer, and also a medical doctor. A guitar professor of the Royal Conservatory of Madrid, he is the author of more than 400 pieces for guitar, string instruments, and orchestra. The milonga is a musical genre that originated in the Rio de la Plata areas of Argentina, Uruguay, and the Brazilian state of Rio Grande do Sul. It was derived from an earlier style of singing known as payada de contrapunto, with a very lively rhythm. It provided some elements to the tango that later took its own identity. Astor Piazzolla is considered one of the most important Argentine musicians of the 20th century. He was born in Mar del Plata in 1921 and died in Buenos Aires in 1992 from complications of a stroke. He was one of the most renowned tango composers in the world who revolutionized the traditional tango into a new style called Nuevo Tango, New Tango, incorporating elements from jazz and classical music. He's a bit controversial among the traditional tango lovers, that is. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is Javier Olondo.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Buenas a todos. I'm thrilled and honored to be here tonight, even though it's a virtual performance from the patio of my house. First of all, I want to thank the New Orleans Hispanic Heritage Foundation and acknowledge the great and crucial work that they do throughout the year. In this first part of my performance, I'm going to bring you to different countries in South America: Brazil, Paraguay, and Argentina. From Brazil, I'm going to play by Heitor Villa-Lobos, Mazurca Choro, by João Pernambuco, Sons de Carrilloes, by Agustín Barrios Mangoré, Valse No. 4, by Jorge Cardoso, Milonga, and by Astor Piazzolla, Tango, La Muerte del Ángel.
We are going to travel now to the north and go to Venezuela. Antonio Lauro was a Venezuelan musician of Italian descent, considered one of the most important South American guitar composers. Born in 1917, he died in 1986. Like many South Americans of his generation, Lauro was a fervent cultural nationalist, determined to rescue and celebrate his nation's musical heritage. Continuing our journey further north, we found the island of Cuba, a country that produced many musical genres and a number of musicians in a variety of styles, such as Javier. One of its composers and classical guitarist is Leo Brouwer, born in Havana in 1939. He's still composing and conducting, but he can no longer play due to an injury to his right finger. His great uncle was the famous Ernesto Lecuona. Then we will hear a piece from Jose Antonio Oñico Rojas, a prominent Cuban composer and guitarist, considered the father of the style filín. He was born in Havana in 1921 and died in 2008. He wrote numerous pieces for the guitar that included influences from classical music as well as from the most popular traditions. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Javier Olondo again.
Now I would like to bring you to Venezuela and my homeland, Cuba. By Antonio Lauro, I'm going to perform three waltzes: Angostura, Andreina, and Maravino. By Leo Brouwer, Danza Característica, which is in the rhythm of conga. And I'm also going to play a guajira by Nico Rojas. The title of this one is Guajira a mi Madre.
Okay. In the final part of this concert, Javier takes us across the ocean to Spain, where all began in the 15th century when it comes to Latin America, that is. Regino Sáenz de la Maza y Ruiz was born in Burgos, Spain in 1896 and died in 1981. He was a Spanish classical guitarist and composer. On November 6, 1940, he played the guitar at the premiere of the Joaquín Rodríguez Concierto de Aranjuez in Barcelona. He's also the author of the book called La Guitarra y su Historia, The Guitar and Its History. Francisco Gustavo Sánchez Gómez was born in 1947 in Algeciras in Spain and died in 2014 of a heart attack while he was in Playa del Carmen in Mexico. He was known as Paco de Lucia, and he was a virtuoso flamenco guitarist. He was one of the first flamenco guitarists to branch into classical and jazz. He was first taught by his father, who was also a flamenco guitarist. A master of contrast, De Lucia often juxtaposed picados, which is a finger-style run, and rasgueados, which is a flamenco strumming, with a more sensitive playing, and was known for adding abstract chords and scale tones to his compositions. And the final piece will be by Cuban composer and pianist of worldwide fame, Ernesto Lecuona. Born in Guanabacoa, Cuba in 1896, he died in his father's hometown of Tenerife, Canary Island in 1963. He composed over 600 pieces, mostly in the Cuban vein, and was a pianist of exceptional skill. Lecuona was a well master of symphonic form and conducted the Ernesto Lecuona Symphonic Orchestra. He moved to Tampa, Florida in 1960, unhappy with Fidel Castro's communist regime. Lecuona's talent for composition was influenced the Latin American world in a way that is quite similar to what George Gershwin did in the United States. In his case, raising Cuban music to classical status. A great deal of Lecuona's music was first introduced to mass American audiences by Desi Arnaz, a fellow Cuban and Lucille Ball's spouse. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the third and final segment of this journey to Latin American music in the hands of Javier Olondo and his guitar.
For this last part of my performance, I would like to bring it back to our motherland, Spain. I will be performing Zapateado by Regino Sáenz de la Maza, Guajiras de Lucia by the great guitarist Paco de Lucia, and a work by a Cuban composer, Ernesto Lecuona, originally for piano, Malagueña, in my own version. I hope you enjoy it, and thank you again for having me.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we conclude our concert tonight. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Thank you on behalf of the New Orleans Hispanic Heritage Foundation. And we hope that you can donate for this wonderful cause. Thank you so much. Good night.